Good morning, anglers. Welcome to this week's Indian Lake Fishing Report, brought to you by Mike's Bait and Tackle, Route 235, Lakeview, Ohio. This week's report is for the week of July 30th. The water temperature is approximately 75 degrees, which will be optimum for catfishing. Speaking of catfishing, the big catfish tournament kicked off Thursday at noon, and it continues on until Sunday at noon. And there is no fishing below the spillway on this tournament. For the rest of the details, you can go to Mike's Bait and Tackle and sign up. You can also go to Gene's Marine and sign up, and they will also have all the rest of the details for you there. Flatheads. Speaking of flatheads, I tell you, man, that bite is still strong. They're coming off their spawning beds still. And the strong bite, the real hot bite, seems to be between 1 and 5 a.m. And they're using live baits. The crappie fishing. Crappie, let me give you a little tip here on crappie. Bust a little myth. People think, since you're in the summer months or the dog days, that crappie don't bite. They think they go suspend in deep water. They stay there and you don't catch them. That's not true. The crappie do not like water current. Okay, so here is your tip. If you're gonna fish bridges or anything that has a current flowing through them, fish the back side of structure. Those bridge pilings, get on the back side of them. That's where they'll be hiding. They'll be staying away from any type of current. Here's another tip. Actually, I have a couple tips for you. This may help you out this weekend and in the future here. Alrighty, let's take a look at something here. There's a lot of things that play into what makes you have a successful day on the water. Water clarity, temperature, wind, the clouds, if there's a storm front moving in. There's just a lot of different things. And there's always luck that plays into that, you know, where you're at, what time of day. Right here, friends, get you a calendar and a little notebook. Mark down, when you have a very successful day or the very crappiest day fishing, pay very close attention to what type of structure, the water clarity, all those conditions outside. Write it down, man. Hey, I slaughtered the crappie today. It was 75 degrees out. It was cloudy. The water was murky. There was a little bit of chop on the water. You know, not everybody can remember everything, but after a while, you're going to walk outside and go, holy crap, man, I think I need to grab my fishing pole. I remember a day like that last year or 2 years ago. And things will start to sink in without even thinking about it. Just like going to a lake or going to a river or something, and you're standing there with your pole looking around, where do I need to cast? You'll start to recognize structure, points, and just automatically you go, man, there's some fish holding right there. It just naturally will start coming to you. The other tip for you this weekend, I just happen to have a fluke, paddle tail, any plastic bait this is going to work on. I just happen to have a little jig head here. Now, not everybody has a fully equipped tackle bag. I just happened to grab this. This is a size jig head that I wanted to use. And then when you pair this up with this fluke, look at where that hook sets at in that long body. You can do a little bait modification here. This will keep, this will keep you from losing your personal best. And that's the worst thing that can happen to you. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to set this hook towards the back of that body, okay? So just take a look at it. You're going to want to come up here, take your knife or a pair of scissors, and cut that body off right here where my finger's at. So now you have that hook's going to be set towards the rear. So instead of that fish coming up and biting, getting right here, you're going to end up with a short strike. Or maybe he's just going to hit the edge of that hook. And you're going to lose him. You know, I get it quite a bit. First thing I do is take that bait off, and I'll cut her down so that hook's setting towards the back. Takes you a second to do. It's going to save you a lot of fish. The most amount of productive crappie, you want to get up early in the morning. Fish early, fish deep, and then fish towards the evening. Avoid that heat during the day. Not to say that you won't catch some during the day, it's just not going to be as productive. The white bass. Man, I tell you what, it's fun to catch them white bass. And just like with anything, crappie, white bass, whatever, you're going to want to keep your eye on the water. Wherever you see bait fish, a lot of minnows schooling, or if they're just frantically in a big school, there's where you want to fish. Where there's bait fish, there's fish. They're feeding on them. And the white crappie will chase them in big schools. There's nothing like seeing a big boil in the water and the white bass just coming up, feeding on them. They'll break water everywhere. And when that happens, you want to grab a pole. Keep the extra pole rigged with a white curly tail grub and just start throwing it. You'll produce a lot of white bass. The bass. Summer months, man. Atchison's area is still reporting bass over in that area. You're going to want to topwater baits right now. Frogs, buzz baits. Early mornings and early evenings will produce largemouth bass. The bluegills, they're seeking shade right now. So along the rocks, structure, and under docks, start hitting under them docks again. They're going to produce mixed bags. That provides a lot of shade in that area. Perch. The perch are coming into the channels right now. A lot of perch are being reported, and there's quite a few with size. So perch under a bobber. Use a slip bobber with a night crawler or minnow, and you'll do well. Mike's Bait and Tackle carries Ancient Mariner products. Rods and reels are heavy duty for that big cat person. Ancient Mariner comes with a lifetime warranty on its products. So them products are for the serious cat fishermen. Saw Guy. Let's talk about Saw Guy. Here's another thing I always hear people say, dang, you guys are catching Saw Guy. A lot of people think that you only catch Saw Guy in the fall and in the spring. That's not true. You can catch Saw Guy all year long. And the Saw Guy are on fire right now. Jerk baits. Jerk baits, shallow diving crankbaits, slip bobber with leech. Get your leeches. Set about 3 foot deep. Fish on top of those weeds. I'm telling you. Let me tell you something about these weeds. Once again, you guys are probably going to throw eggs at me, but them weeds in that lake are your friend, and they're what makes that a great fishery. That's one of the greatest fisheries in Ohio. Folks, taking the weeds out of that lake would be like taking a woods out of some, out of, clearing the woods during deer hunting season. It would be the same thing. All right, bridges. Hit them bridges early morning. Bridges are producing a lot of fish early morning. Start deep, work your way up the water column. About in 1 foot, 6 inches to 1 foot increments. Just start bringing your slip bobber up. You're going to catch a lot of fish. Moundwood, it's been producing a lot of fish. And all your other bridges. The spillway is producing mixed bags. Get down below the spillway in that river. It's a lot of fun. And you can use just about anything down there. Look for the slack water, the eddies, structure. You're going to catch some fish. Head to the islands. The islands are always good. Fish around the rocks and straight out in the lake. Them slip bobbers are your friends right now in them weeds. And if you've been watching my fishing reports, see if you can locate you a couple wobble bobbers, especially when there's some little bit of rolling water. I'm telling you, you'll start to improve your fishing. But this, like I said, man, the saw guy and the crappie, there's a myth there that they suspend for the summer. It's not true. There's people just tearing them up down there. So get out there, have a good weekend. There's 3, I'm going to add this here. There's 3 great tackle shops around that lake. If there's something you can't find down there between the 3 of them, you probably don't need it. All those places are very helpful. They'll go out of their way to help you have a successful day on the water there. You got Mike's Bait and Tackle. You got the Pro Bass Shop, and you have Gene's Marine. And buy local, folks. Keep these places in business. They'll keep you catching fish. Channel cat are being caught all around the lake. They're always more than plentiful and with some size to them. They're fun for the kids. You can catch them with a variety of baits. You can use hot dogs. You can use leeches, night crawlers, stink baits. Stop by Mike's Bait and Tackle. He has everything you need to help you have a very successful day or successful weekend on the water. Until next week, be safe out there. Enjoy yourself. Don't forget to wear them personal flotation devices on them boats, folks. Tight lines.